Let's take a quick tour of CXone Agent. Now, I'm choosing to use the integrated experience, which is an extension for both Chrome and Edge. This allows me to work within websites and easily move between websites and minimize it down, bring it back to view, make it a bit bigger, move this around so it's in a slightly different position. Really easy to use. So let's just make it a little bit thinner again, which is its standard, like so. So at the moment I'm handling various different channels. However, voice is obviously a key channel within a contact center. So I'm just going to place a call in and we'll receive that as our agent. Now this is coming through to me. I can accept or reject, although I also have auto accept as an option within my settings, or depending on my role and permission. So if I take that call, then we're connected to our customer. And I'm just going to mute my customer down there. I can place the call on hold. I can mute the call as well. When you mute, you lose the ability to hang up. You might see mask and record depending on your role and permission. But if we want to transfer, then we click transfer and we type in the name of, say, another user or a skill or a team. And I can place a call there to Barry. And Barry is going to pick up that call on another PC. So now Barry is connected to me, and what I can do here is go back to my customer, and Barry's placed on hold. We can maybe confirm something, go back to Barry, and we can then either hang up on Barry and go back to our customer, or we could click to transfer. Alternatively, we could conference in as well. Up to us in terms of how we handle that. You'll see I've still got my outcome code here, and I've got the option to make this a multi-party conference. Again, that does depend on my role and permission. And here I could potentially add a commitment or a further outbound call as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete that transfer, and away it goes. I still need to give my disposition, and I'm going to say that's a completed call. And auto summary is doing its thing as well in the background. So depending on what features you have on CXone Mpower, you might see auto summary, you might see aspects of Copilot as well. In fact, while that is trying to generate, we can see here we've got Copilot that is slowly being introduced into this environment as well. If I go back to one of my digital channels, then what I can do here again is if I make myself available, place another call in, then I'm going to accept that call. I could reject it and go into a refuse state. That depends on how I'm working. In fact, what I'm going to do is just hang that call up. We won't get an auto summary for a call that short. If I go into my settings, then I'm going to click auto accept to turn that on. If you have a Jabra headset, you can also pair it to CXone Agent, and then if it has some of the inline functions, then you'll be able to make use of those as well. So let's go back to our chat conversation. Let's take ourselves out of unavailable, place another call through, and we'll see what this looks like with auto answer. You'll see there I'm automatically connected. Now, another thing you might see down the bottom is another icon called launch. You utilize that if you're transferring, say, a customer to an announcement or potentially to a payment IVR. So that's where you might see that. It's defined on a per skill basis within CXone. So these buttons are dynamic depending on the situation and the context. If I hang this up and just going to let that go, complete that. We'll go back to being available. Now, if I want to make a new outbound call, then I can click on new outbound here. I just type in a number. And because I have SMS enabled, I could also send an SMS. It depends on what's on your platform and what skills you have assigned to you. I'm just going to click voice call and then select the relevant brand or contact ID that I want to showcase. And I am going to answer that call. All the functions exactly the same as you would expect. If we wanted to, we could here create a new outbound call or add a commitment. So we can create a commitment to call this customer back later on today. And we'll just save that. Goes into your calendar like so. What we can also do, if we hang up that, we'll go back to available. Say this call is something we then want to escalate. We have the option as well to potentially do that depending on what you've set up on your channels. Within your digital channels, you've got lots of various different things. You'll notice the look and feel is very similar depending on what channel you are using. So SMS, for example, there's just a couple of icons less because there's certain things you can't do. But for an agent, everything is all in one place. It's nice and easy, either in this version or in the full browser experience. So that is CXone Agent, getting to know it. Hopefully that was useful for you.